It's going to take the average Londoner around 200 years to buy a property. If you are a Londoner, you are absolutely screwed. London was once marketed as the land of hopes and dreams. London, fifth most dynamic and productive city in the world, but it's failed its citizens. It's failed us. If you are a Londoner, you are absolutely screwed. What was once promoted, marketed, sold to us, that if you come to London, the jobs are here, the social life is here, and there is a chance of flourishing and building an amazing career and living a great life. That is no longer the case because of this thing called housing and the problems associated with the housing market in this country, more specifically London. Let's talk about it. So let's start by looking at the average salary in the UK. It's around £33,000. You pay around £3,800 in income tax. Then you've got to pay national insurance. That's around £2,700. So you get to take home £27,000. Now let's look at some of the costs. Outside of London, the average rent is around £900. Gas and electric utilities, £200. Groceries, feeding yourself, £200. Transportation, about £150. Miscellaneous costs, £150. So it means your total expenses are around £1,600 every single month. Now, that's quite good because it means a reasonable person, maybe a very disciplined person, has the opportunity, obviously easier said than done, to save around £650 per month. £650 per month equals £7,800 every single year. And if the average property price in the UK is around £288,000 and the average buyer needs around 10% to buy that property, they need to save around £28,000. Now, based on a saving of £7,800 every single year, it will take the average first-time buyer, outside of London of course, 3.5 years to acquire that property by saving £7,800. Now, it's all well and good buying a property outside of London. Let's talk about London and let's talk about numbers associated with people that live in London. The average salary in London is around £41,000. Let's look at some numbers. The average rent in comparison to outside of London, which is £900, the average rent in London is about £1,750. Council tax, internet, utilities, let's factor in £250. Groceries, £300. Transportation, around £150 to £200. Miscellaneous, around £200. So it means your total expenses is around £2,650, with the vast majority of your income going towards accommodation. Ouch. Londoners are screwed. If the average salary in London is around £41,000, income tax of £5,000, national insurance £3,500, your take home will be about £31,900, which gives you around £2,662 every single month. But if your total essential monthly expenses total £2,650, then it means the average Londoner, whether disciplined or indisciplined, and this is why when boomers say, save your money, stop buying avocados, stop paying for Netflix, it's absolutely stupid advice. Because if the average Londoner earns around £2,662 and their average essential spends are £2,650, then it means the average Londoner can save around £12 per month. Woohoo! Woohoo-hoo! Now let's do two things. Let's look at how long it will take the average Londoner to save for the average property price in the UK, and then we'll do an analysis to find out how long it's going to take the average Londoner to save for the average property price in London. So as we mentioned earlier on, the average property price in the UK is £288,000. In order for a first-time buyer to buy that property, they've got to put down a 10% deposit. So they've got to put down £28,000. Let's calculate how many years it's going to take the average Londoner saving £12 per month to buy a property. So £12 a month times 12 months is £144. So based on my simple analysis, it's going to take the average Londoner around 200 years, around 200 years to buy a property. Now that's not even taking into consideration that after 10 years, the property prices would have increased, or after 20 years, it's doubled in value, or 50 years, it's quadrupled in value. They're absolutely screwed. What is the genuine answer? Is there a point of me wasting time calculating how long it's going to take the average Londoner who can save £12 per month to buy a property in London with the average price of £585,000. Is there a point? Because at this point, all we can do is laugh. I have no idea what first-time buyers are going to do. Rent prices are only going to get higher. This is where we've got to ask, and we've got to ask for interventions, and we've got to hold the government accountable and make sure they build more houses to bolster supply so that people have a fair shot of being able to save. Forget about buying property at this point. How can I change my life, improve my life, prepare for retirement, make investments if I can't save? Hey guys, if you get any value from this video, let's have a conversation in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts.